Welcome to video number 9, basic blocks and strikes. Now when you block with a knife, someone striking at you with a knife, it's difficult to block that knife. So what you're going to aim for is the heavier part of their hand or arm. And I'm going to block that area. Don't block the blade, even though the blade is what can hurt you. What you're going to aim for when you block is the hand. And then you take control of the hand. So if you get the blade, go ahead, take control of the knife, get control of the knife, do whatever is necessary to get that out of their hands so you can take control of it. Again, blocking, someone striking at you with a knife, you're going to block the arm or the hand. In a bigger area, you have more likely of being able to block it, and you're less likely to get cut. Now in a knife fight, you must be aware that you will get cut. You don't want to give yourself up to being cut, though. You want to make sure that you are cautious and careful. Don't get a cut. Don't give yourself up to be killed, to be stabbed. If I'm blocking while holding a knife, the knife becomes an extension of me, especially when I'm holding it in the upright position, in the forward position. When I block this way, I have an extension to my arm. Okay. The other nice thing about blocking with a knife is I can then drag the knife across them. If they're striking, I block it and cut. And that will cut across them, especially when I'm going for the wrist, for example. It will be devastating. Contrary to the movies, being able to hit their blade with your knife is very difficult. Not safe. I wouldn't try it. I do not recommend anybody trying to block blade to blade. Now when blocking in the down position, now I'm aiding my arm with that blade. I block on the side that the blade is on, protecting my arm, and also becoming more devastating to the area that I'm blocking. If I'm blocking an arm coming at me, or a leg, then it's hitting that blade, it's going to cut them. It's very devastating. And now into strikes. When you're striking with the knife, I want you to always think, if I cut into them, I've got to cut out. If I cut into something, I've got to cut out. Cut my way in, cut my way out. So if I jab in this way, I'm going to twist it and come back out the other side. And the blade will, I'm cutting as I go in, twist, and I cut as I come out. Everything is a cut in, cut out. I cut this way, I'm going to cut back. Okay, let's talk about some different strikes with the forward position, or holding it in the upright position. This position, the first one we're going to talk about is just the straight jab. I'm jabbing straight into the opponent, jab in, cut out, in and out. Notice the way my arm is facing, I get that twist in, twist it, and come out. Okay? If I'm on this side, I go in and out. This can also be done coming down, you twist it, cut out, or coming up, comes up, twist it, pulls out. Okay? And that was a forward thrust. There's also the stab. For example, I'm coming across to the temple area, stab, or even the neck, collarbone area, I stab, twist, cut. Or coming back up, stab in the kidney, up in the armpit, stab, twist, cut out, you cut in and cut out. Again, down and up. You can also come the other way. I come down, twist, or I come up, twist and cut. I continue, or I come out. Okay, same thing on this side. Notice I'm making an X on both sides, and this is with a stab motion. Now these same techniques can be done with a slashing motion. I slash, slash. Okay, as I slash in, if I make sure that you don't just swing it like this. Don't just swing it this way. You've got to extend it. So it's an extension to you. Twist that wrist forward so you get that slashing motion. So I slash, slash down. If I make contact and I cut in, I kind of cut out. Come in, and out. So slashing down or up on this angle. Then we have the other angle we can use. Down or up. Okay, I would keep this hand here to protect my vitals, my heart, my throat, my face, my eyes. But I don't keep that in front of me, because if I have it out in front of me, they can easily just cut my fingers. Okay, I want to keep it back behind. Slashing down, slashing up. On the other side, slashing down, slashing up. Okay, and we can also come across. Same thing there. If you hit, cut in. If it stops, you can't go any farther. Cut out the same way you came. If it's just a slash across the body that's just not catching, just go ahead and go all the way through. And the slash can also be coming up or also coming down. Both ways. Now holding a knife in this way, you can also do regular punches straight at the opponent. When doing these punches, it would be coming at them in this way. Maybe I punch at them, punch at their throat, for example, utilizing the blade as a striking area. There's also stabs when you come, someone perhaps grabbing from behind, stab and out. I come in here, twist, cut down. On the other side, same thing. I'm coming up. This one I don't do much twisting because it's difficult for the arm. Just up and out. Now for some strikes with the reverse hold, the reverse grip. We have many of the same strikes. We can do the stabbing strikes with a twist on the angles. Okay, stabbing strikes. We'll be striking this area here, coming down, coming up. I'm striking in the kidney area, up under the ribs, into the lungs, the liver, or even the heart. Okay, coming up. It can also be straight up. If it's behind me, for example, I come up behind me. Okay. Over the top, coming down. This is a stab coming down. Very common strike. Many people will practice this strike and practice a defense against this strike. So, common strike coming down. Also from this position, like I talked about before, we have the punches. Here we can punch, again to the throat area, the face. We can also cut with a vertical punch. If I do a vertical punch, and hit in the forehead, for example, that blade will hit that nose and just split it right in half. Or hit the chin and split the chin open, the lips, striking straight forward. So we have a striking with the vertical punch, striking here to the throat, striking this side to the throat as well. And you can also do supported stabs. Supported stabs. Okay, this would be good to the body. Do a supported stab into the body. I could do a supported stab coming down. Do a supported stab coming up. My angles, it gets difficult. It's usually just a forward stab, sideways stab, coming down, coming up. Or I can even do a stab straight behind. So the target areas with the knife. Like I said before, we have the nose, the chin, eyeballs, the temples, the neck, both on the sides, the front. I have the areas here in between the bones, between the collarbone and the shoulder bones here. Come right inside here. I can come in between the ribs and come up into the armpit and underneath in the ribs, in the kidney area, stomach. I can come up into the groin area, on the sides of the groin, bladder, intestines. These are all great targets for the knife because they're very devastating. I'm less likely to have issues with bone. Now when you go for the ribs, you may have those problems with the bone. As proven in other videos, the knife can penetrate bone. It can break through bone if struck directly and with enough force. Other less common target areas for the knife. Because I'm standing in this position and an opponent would be standing in a similar position, I could strike very easily, hit the wrist, all these veins in the wrist, cutting tendons, blood vessels, veins. As I cut those, he's less likely to be able to use this wrist, or in the arm here, around the elbow, the forearm. As you cut in here, there's a lot of nerves. It's very painful, and it'll prevent them from being able to use their arm. Again, in the armpit, around the shoulder. Not so much on top, but more under here, in the armpit. Okay? Now, I'm okay with that. I'm okay with doing 1,000 little cuts to whatever's closest to me, if it can prevent me from getting killed. I'm not willing to give up, let them have some few cuts on my arm when I go for a big major kill strike. I'm not willing to do that. I want you to play it safe. Okay? This isn't a game. There's no oh, game over, you have another life. This is your life. This is, I've got to do it right, play it safe, and avoid these situations as much as possible. If you can avoid this situation, that's what you want to go for. Okay, let's do a quick review. Vertical grip, doing blocks, it's an extension of my arm. I'm extending my arm, allowing me to have a larger area to block with. When I'm blocking my opponent, I block the arm or the hand. I don't focus on the knife when I'm blocking. Once I've made contact with them, I want to immediately control the knife as quickly as possible. When I take control of the knife, I want to get away from them. I want to neutralize the situation. Okay, blocking in the down position, the reverse position, I utilize it as a blade with my block, whatever block I'm doing. So if they're striking at me, they will hit that blade. Okay, reviewing our strikes. The forward position, we have thrusts, which are strikes coming in. Remember to do the twist and pull out. We also have stabs, stabs coming down or up or straight across. Stab, twist, pull out. Okay. We also talked about slashes. And with slashes, you want to make sure you don't just go this way. You want to extend that blade out there, reach for it. And your slashes can come down, up, or across. Your stabs can also come up and down, and also over the shoulders. Remember those movements. You want to practice each one of these movements first slowly, and make sure you always use a training knife, and then speed it up to increase your speed and accuracy. Okay, the reverse hold. Review on the reverse hold. We have the punch with the blade as a strike. We have the stabbing motions coming across or on our angles. We also have coming up and down. We have the thrust, the supported thrust, where you're thrusting and supporting with your other hand, going this way even, or behind you. Coming up, you have slashes this way. Okay, let's review our target areas. Eyes, nose, mouth, ears, temples, the throat, both on the sides and the front, in between the collarbones, in under the armpits, cut the other side of the elbow, the wrists, up into the stomach area, the kidney, and even into the groin area, and behind the knees or the ankles. Whatever's closest to you is what you strike at. When this is the situation, when the situation calls for it, but remember to avoid these situations at all costs. You want to avoid it as much as possible. You don't want to put yourself in a situation where you're confronting someone with a knife. Avoid it. do what you can to neutralize situations before you have to confront them with a knife.